Look at all this loot! DJ, none for you! Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and I am a shameless fan of getting free stuff, especially free blasters. And what we have here are two of the newer offerings to the Adventure Force line from BuzzBee. These were sent to me by BuzzBee for review. I greatly appreciate that. And we're gonna take a look. What we have up first is, the big one, is the Alpha Auto 72. It is a fully automatic blaster. It has a big old drum with double stack cylinders. Very similar to some other blasters we've seen recently, but this is their take on it. Obviously, it has been designed to look vaguely like a Tommy gun, but very much a cartoonish Tommy gun, and that's one of the beautiful things about the BuzzBee blasters, is they often have very similar functionality to blasters we see from other companies, but BuzzBee makes sure that they look like toys. The bright colors, the goofy proportions, all of that, it's really very much appreciated by a lot of people in our hobby who don't like the shift towards more and more realistic stuff, and so that's pretty cool. The other one we have here is the Blitz 6. People sure do like putting Blitz in the name of blasters. It's a 6-round revolver. Rotates on prime, which I like. Very solid rotation feel. I like that as well. Interesting. Has long dart posts all the way to the end of the barrel. This one I'm really excited to pop open. It holds 72 rounds apparently, which is an incredible capacity for something like this. So it does take batteries. I have batteries, and we're gonna take this thing out and give it a test. Comes with just a big old hunk of darts. That's fabulous. Our sights. I think I got all the parts. All right. It has what looks to the world like a standard stock attachment point. Sure enough. Don't ask about the stock, you will get no information out of me. And then that one fits. And it actually does have a fairly standard style of locking mechanism. It does lock on. That is surprisingly comfortable, actually. The proportion's a little weird, like this should be a little closer in and this should be a little further forward, but all in all, it's not bad. I dig it. And then, assume this goes on here. Which way does this go? Oh, it's definitely gonna go, nope, I had it right the first time. It goes that way. And then this goes in. And is removable. Oh, that is nice. So if you were to get more than one of these, or could get your hands on another one of the drums, it wouldn't actually be impossible to be able to quick swap cylinders. And given that it holds 72 rounds, that's a pretty good reload. Fascinating. And right. They say, aim straight or aim up, don't aim down. Interesting. That rotates real freely. That's kind of fascinating. That might make it really easy to skip cylinders. But, let me do have a sight. Cool. Well, I'll get this loaded up. Let's take a look at this one, get it out of its package. It's probably much easier. Much easier. And they do give you double the amount of ammunition that it holds. So it holds 6, but they give you 12 rounds. That's nice. I assume here they're only giving you the 72. But, I mean, that's a lot of ammo. Alright. Let's go to the range. Plink a bit. Right. I'm here on the range, losing daylight. Hopefully we can get all the way through this. I'm going to start with the Blitz 6. See if I can hit anything at all. Apparently not. Nope. Nary so much. There we go. I figured it out. Or not. Also, apparently I can't count. Not the most accurate thing in the world. Let's try it with some better darts. Right, now with standard Adventure Force darts. Before I was shooting the long range ones, I think they're called. See if these are any more accurate. Apparently not. There we go. I found the center at the end. Yeah, not too bad. We'll talk about it more, but let's try the big one. The first one, the small one, fipsed in at around 65. This one was coming in at around 85, I think. So it's got a little bit more juice to it, which is impressive for a blaster running on 6 AA's. Rate of fire didn't seem to be too high. Let's plink. Oh, we're still going. How are we going? We got one more. No, we got a few more. We missed a few. Where are we at? I don't even know. I got that one. Where's the other one? It's coming around. There we go. Any second now. Aha! Round's complete. So yeah, not the highest rate of fire, and as I noted, yeah, it's real easy to skip cylinders because any movement at all causes the cylinder to rotate. Luckily, that doesn't matter until you've gone all the way around once, because every one of those cylinders has 2 darts in it. But eventually, you'll start running into areas where there's gaps and whatnot. As you saw, definitely not the most accurate thing in the world. I'm gonna try it with some Adventure Force darts that I have in a pocket here somewhere. Too much other stuff in that pocket. Yes? No? Yes? Yes? Oh! Ah! Darts. Here we go. Alright. Better darts do fly better. We should not be surprised by this. Yeah. I dig it. Yeah, I dig it. I'm gonna clean up. We're gonna go talk about it. Right, so what are my thoughts? Well, with the ammo that they came with, they are really quite shockingly inaccurate, but that does not surprise me, as that particular ammo is not known for its accuracy, but rather its range. Now, they don't make FPS claims on the box, but they do claim that they will hit up to 100 feet. This one, like I said, was getting in the mid-60s, and will hit just about exactly 100 feet when fired at an angle. This one came in at mid-80 FPS, and hit train. It did not hit the train. I did not shoot at the train. It did hit considerably more than 100 feet. It actually was coming in closer to 140 feet when fired at an angle. So the claims on the box are well substantiated, or at least the few claims that they make. It does say this one is auto-advancing, which it does do, so I mean there's that. And this one says that it's motorized full auto dart blasting. And that is also true. So, yeah. A couple of things that I noticed that is definitely an improvement to, in my opinion, to past BuzzBee blasters. I get the feeling they got tired of us constantly, endlessly complaining about the grips being too small, because they have decided to start making the grips comically large, because this grip is big in my hands and I have large hands. So that is kind of humorous. You could almost take this whole bottom section off and still be able to get my whole hand on there. The foregrip is a much more reasonable size, but I definitely would prefer comically large to uncomfortably small. This one's a little bit closer to their old sizes, but even it is a little bit larger, as I can actually get all of my fingers on there as opposed to my pinky hanging off completely. So that's kind of cool. I do like that I've done that. The other thing that I personally feel, and you could disagree with that, but I feel the plastic quality is vastly improved to past BuzzBee blasters. It does not have the brittle feeling that it used to have, the thin, brittle feeling. This feels like a much stronger, or at least less brittle. It feels more flexible, and you can actually see some flex in there, which makes it more resistant to falling and whatnot, because it'll bend rather than crack or shatter like some of the old BuzzBee blasters had a tendency to do. So yeah, those are definite improvements. The fact that it has a standard end strike attachment stock really surprises me, but that is pretty cool. It does mean there are plenty of stock options. It is not using standard rail, it's not Picatinny rail, and it doesn't look like Nerf rail, so the rail doesn't do us any good, but and this doesn't have any kind of rail on it whatsoever. Other performance, the rate of fire on this is thoroughly slow. It's not a hose by any means. Obviously, you could probably upgrade it, but out of the box, it has a fairly slow rate of fire, but it is a fairly steady rate of fire. One thing I'm kind of curious about, I kind of want to pop it open and figure out how exactly it does it. I assume, yeah, that's how they're doing it, okay. So there's a lift arm in there that after you fire the top dart, it then lifts the second one up so that it can be pushed. That's clever how that works. My primary complaint, and I've said it twice now, and I will go ahead and say it one more time, it's too easy for the cylinder to rotate on accident. Even, I mean, any kind of movement, twisting of the blaster will cause it to, you know, index half a dozen rounds, if not more. And that could make it difficult to keep track of where you are. If you're in something like an HVZ, that could lead to you having, you know, 50 darts in the blaster, but none ready to fire. I don't know if anyone's come up with a fix for that, or if there would be an easy solution to keep that from easily indexing. I'd have to open it up and see how exactly it indexes and how that could be avoided. But other than that, the fact that you can top up all of the cylinders, they're all individually top-upable, that's pretty cool. It wouldn't be, the ones on top here would fall down and you could tell which ones are loaded and or which ones have a dart and which ones don't, or which ones have two and which ones don't. Obviously when they're coming out this side, they should all not have a, you know, at least one dart should have been fired already, so it's easy to top them up as you go. Once you get down to here, gravity's going to pull them down on you, but that is pretty cool. Also, like I said, the fact that you can quick swap fairly easily is a neat feature. It would have been cool if it came with a second drum. BuzzBee's usually pretty good about letting you order parts, though. I don't know, or they used to. I don't know if that's a thing they still do. But yeah, I like it. It's definitely a huge step up from like the old Tommy 20. The fact that this holds 52 more rounds is impressive. And the fact that it holds 12 more rounds than the closest equivalent that I can think of off the top of my head is also a bit of a boon. I mean, that is a lot of capacity in a relatively small area. That's roughly the size of an old 35 round drum, and this holds more than twice as much. So that is pretty cool. I like it. Like I said, I like the colors, I like the cartoonish proportions. It definitely screams toy, which is good. At the same time, it would be fairly easy to paint and do cosmetic work on. BuzzBee's always been pretty good about their blasters coming apart. I hope that's still the case. And typically these things come off easily and then can be painted separately. Couldn't say that for sure unless I took it apart, but I dig it. Definitely an adequate blaster. I like the potential. I like where BuzzBee has gone with it. The last time they sent me stuff, there was a lot of gimmicky stuff that, again, had great potential but hadn't quite been polished. This one, the only real complaint I have is that index, but other than that, it's a very solid flywheel blaster. So, there are my thoughts, my ramblings, my musings upon the Alpha Auto 72 and the Blitz 6. Let me know what you guys think down in the description. Let me know if there's any blasters that have hit the market that you would like me to review. There is one, like the one that was similar to this one. I don't think I've actually gotten my hands on one of those yet. I may have to track one down and maybe compare them. My Puma is demanding pets, so this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching.